Hi everyone, welcome to Winter Training. Today I'll be showing you guys how to troubleshoot some typical technical problems that will occur while you're using Future Cloud during your shift. Today's demonstration will also include a bit of tips and hints on how to manage your computer to avoid updates during the middle of shift, as well as how to use your Future Cloud schedule page to the best of your abilities. Okay, so let's get started. All right, so what should you be doing if a problem should occur when you are on shift? The very first thing that you must do is report the problem to your admins. By reporting the problem to your admins, you are letting them know that yes, there is an issue and you are working on it, and you are working on ensuring that the problem is resolved. Now, two things happen when you get into an issue that throws you out of your classroom. First things first, the students will tell their parents, Mom, Dad, something happened, teacher is not there. The second thing that's going to happen is that the admins will notice that you're not in the classroom using their monitoring page. So they'll immediately know that something is wrong. Even if they are not noticing it on their monitoring page, the parents will call the teacher support group and inform them that the teacher is not in the class. So by informing your admins of the problem, you're basically giving your admins a heads up. So when they get that call, they can say, do not worry, teacher is on their way. They are working on a solution for the problem right now. This way you get the parents calmed down, the students know to wait for you, and more importantly, everyone knows that you are doing everything possible to recover from this problem. The second thing you would do is then follow the recovery steps. Sometimes your admins may give you further advice or they will have more up-to-date information on an issue. So always follow their instructions as well. Okay. The third thing that you will do is then inform your admins if the problem is solved. By letting your admins know the problem is solved, it means that they can then tell the parent, hey, everything is okay now. Teacher will return to your class and the student can get ready to get back into the class with you. Okay. Now, if you inform your admins that the problem has been solved, they know to expect you in your classroom. They can tell the parents, please give teacher 3 minutes to get into the classroom, or 5 minutes as the case may be. Okay. The last thing you will do is just before re-entering your classroom, ensure that a substitute was not provided for that class. Sometimes, if the solution to the problem is taking a bit longer than necessary, the admins may assign a substitute, particularly if the student was being a little bit fussy or if the parent had a problem with the duration of the absence. So if you inform your admins that the solution has been implemented and you no longer have a problem, then they can basically tell the parents, hey, everything is good to go. You guys can return. If there is a substitute in the class, they will let you know that you will not be needing to enter that classroom anymore. So if there is a substitute in the class, your admins will let you know that there is no longer a need for you to rush back into this particular classroom. You can take your time and ensure that the problem will not happen again. Okay, so remember guys, first things first, report the problem to the admins. Constant communication with the admins is essential. Let them know what problem that you're having and that the solution is working and that you are ready to return to your classes. Okay, now let's look at a couple of typical problems that you will encounter. Now, let's say your FC has crashed or maybe it's frozen. Now, basically, you can't operate your Future Cloud if it's crashed or frozen. You need to restart FC. Okay, now you can restart FC by one of two ways. You can either use the Control, Alt, and Delete keys to open up your task manager and end Future Cloud from there. When Task Manager is open, you can then safely end VIPX, the app itself. And from there, by closing it using Task Manager, it will be easier to reopen it again to do the restart. Okay. Your second option is to restart your computer. Now, restarting your computer is always a last-ditch attempt at solving all problems. Okay. Now, you never want to restart your computer mid-shift. Restarting your computer mid-shift is problematic for many reasons. Primarily because you have no idea how long it will take you to restart your computer. Yes, you may hope that it happens really quickly, but when you are waiting and trying to minimize the amount of time away from your student, every second is going to feel even longer. Okay, so never restart your computer unless it's a last-ditch effort at solving the problem. More importantly, if while you're restarting your computer decides to update, that can mean that you will be out for the entire shift, depending on how long the updates take. So do not restart your computers unless absolutely necessary. All else has failed, this is your last ditch attempt. Okay. Now, let's say you can't enter your classroom. If you can't enter your classroom, what you can do is use the switch button at the top of the FC schedule page. You can do this. Let me demonstrate for you guys. Here we go. And you can do this by simply clicking this round button at the top here, at the top right corner, close to the X. If you click on it, please note that if this is the first time you are using this button, it will ask you to sign back in. So put in your username and password and log in. Okay, so it will prompt you to log in. And there you go. By using this switch button, what happens is that it basically puts you onto a different channel. It puts you onto a different channel that can basically give you a more secure connection to your classes and to the server. So you can toggle this button at will. Once you've signed in once, it will keep you signed in. All right, now let's say you can't open your Future Cloud at all. Now, this comes in with preparation. Remember, you don't want to be opening up Future Cloud for the very first time for your shift 5 minutes before your class has started. When you sign in 10 minutes before your shift starts, remember that's when you want to open up Future Cloud. Okay, so if you can't open FC, then what you need to do is basically close it again using Task Manager and restart it. Okay, all else fails, remember, you can restart your computer. If you can't open FC at all, restarting your computer may be necessary. Okay, now to avoid the problem of your computer restarting and having to do updates, here is a pro tip. And this is particularly helpful for Windows users. What you want to do is go into your computer's settings. From your computer's settings, you can see the option Update and Security. Click on this. Click on Windows Update. Okay. And if you scroll down, if you can see the updates listed, if you just scroll to the bottom, you can see the option Change Active Hours. This is what you're looking for. Change Active Hours. Click on this. Set your active hours for just half an hour before your shift time to about an hour after your shift time. This means that if you are doing feedback after shift, you can basically save yourself a lot of drama of your computer randomly restarting while you're typing mid-sentence. Click Save when you're finished, and your active hours will be set for your shift time. This will prevent your computer from randomly updating or restarting while you are using it. Okay? All right, so let's keep going. Mac users, I'm sure there's an option for you guys, and we'll get one of our Pro Tech Mac users to help you guys out with a couple of tips and hints, which I will then include in a slide on this PPT. Back to our problems and solutions. So one of the problems that frequently occurs for many teachers is outages. Either your internet is out or your power is out. Now, the main thing again here is preparedness. You should have a backup plan prepared. Veteran teachers have already done this, and new teachers, you're normally given this form by your team leader on your first day. This backup plan basically helps you identify what measures are you going to put in place in the event that your internet goes out or your power goes out. And you may think to yourself, well, if my internet is out and my power is out, there's no way I can help that. But you must remember that we are independent contractors. And as independent contractors, we are responsible for our own equipment. So it's always a good idea to have a backup plan. We suggest using your cell phone data plan and creating a hotspot that your computer can connect to. I recommend having at least 3 gigabytes of data on your phone for a single day's shift. You never know how much sending video and data will add up on your data plan. Okay? So if your power goes out, this is a lot more difficult to manage. If you're using a laptop, then you have a good battery on your laptop, you can successfully get between 2 to 3 hours out of your battery packs on your computers. Okay, some teachers have invested in battery packs that they can use to power computers. That's also a great option. Or you can choose a cheaper option, which is having a secondary location. Your secondary location can be a coffee shop that's nearby, somewhere that has public Wi-Fi that's available and it's pretty good with the upload speed. Remember, it's better for you guys to have a poor quality class but a successful class rather than no class at all. So you may wonder, well, how feasible is this option if it's going to take me half an hour to get there? If it takes you half an hour to get there, this means that you'll only be affecting one class, perhaps two. You can still have the rest of your shift. So remember, guys, preparedness is key. Plan and think ahead. What am I going to do in the event that I have lost power or I've lost internet? And practice makes perfect. If you don't know how to turn your if you don't know how to turn your cell phone into a hotspot, then it's something that you need to figure out beforehand rather than trying to do it in the middle of the situation. Now, the last thing that you want to do when it comes down to having a problem on shift is what to do when you resume your class. Now, when you jump into your class, you can pretend that nothing has happened. Oh, hi. Yeah, I was always here the whole time. Or you can simply acknowledge the problem that just occurred. And you can let the parent and student know that you will extend the class. Sometimes your parent or student will opt out of this if they've got a tight schedule. And they may say, no, teacher, it's okay, I don't want to extend the class. Or your admin will advise you that you do not need to extend the class, simply finish the class on time. Okay? But it should always let the parents know that you will extend the class to make up some of the time. Okay? You can also apologize for the interruption and ensure that you resume the class as quickly as possible. So by simply apologizing, it shows that you're acknowledging that you've made a mistake by interrupting the class. Yes, it may have been something out of your control, but remember, these are our clients. So you want to be as respectful to your clients as possible, particularly if a parent is there. Particularly if a parent is there. If a parent is not there, remember to still be polite and respectful. They have the option of reviewing the class at the end of the session. Okay, so guys, I hope these tips and hints were helpful. I hope that it was useful. Remember, if you need any more information, you can PM me and I will give you guys more information and instructions and help, because that's what I'm here for. So thank you guys for joining me today, and I'll see you guys soon. Goodbye, everyone.